Hello trainers, welcome back to the Turin special event where we're taking a little bit of time aside to talk about some of the best things that have been happening so far this season. My name's Ben from the video game, we've got Leo here from Pokemon Go and Alex of course from the trading card game, and we've seen such an explosion in numbers in tournaments this year. I mean, in the video game we've had regionals go from 200 to 600 players, even 800 overnight, and it's just been fantastic to see this update. Leo, how's Pokemon Go been?
It's been absolutely crazy, to be honest, because we have reached a new high in players in Liverpool already, and then immediately in London afterwards, it just got topped again. What about the TCG?
Yeah, no, exactly the same. You know, we've seen record numbers throughout the years of growth that we've had with the trading card game already. You know, registration's always the first phase for everyone to get into the tournaments, but we've seen, the numbers just growing and growing, and then of course we had things like EUIC, which was record numbers for a European event. So it's just fantastic to see it just across all three games, the amount of work and like things that we put behind it, and to see the game grow to the state that it has.
Exactly that, and your little comment about registration, it's definitely turned into a little bit of a speed run these days, hasn't it? But moving on, you know, we've had so many amazing matches to showcase over the season. We've had so many great things happen. Alex, what's your highlight from the season?
I mean, just touching on just the growth of the game, we've seen not just Europeans now come to our tournaments. We've seen it become a global game. We've had US players coming over, and one of those tournaments was Warsaw Regionals, where we did have a US player make it to the finals, someone who was always second place, a sort of Cinderella story moment, but is now an IC winner, facing up against one of our very best in Europe. But it was an amazing set. Game one, for example, was very quickly conceded, something not a lot of players typically do when they're just a little bit behind. But then game two was back and forth. It was one moment one player was ahead, and then all of a sudden a card was played to completely turn the tide of the game. And eventually just something stuck. He whiffed a card, and that really just gave him a chance to get back into it. And then we saw all of those emotions just come in at the end of game three as well, where finally, it was Pedro Eugenio Torres from Spain who was able to take the crown in Warsaw Regionals, and unfortunately send Alex back to the US in second place once again. What about yourself, Leo, in Pokemon Go?
So the best matchup was the first regional that I have casted so far. So that was the finals of Lille. We had Colin versus Though Tactical, both famous members of the community. And in game 5 of the grand finals, because we are playing with double elimination, we have a possible bracket reset. In game 5 of the grand finals, there was this epic moment. Everything came down to the last meters of the game. Medicham was going for an Ice Punch, reached it the second before Noctowl reached it, and it just lived with 1 HP. And I already thought that the Noctowl was gonna go back to its Pokeball, but it wasn't. So I yelled, "Though Tactical won the game!" The production was listening to it, going to the victory screen basically, and then we immediately had to go back because I realized, there is still 1 HP, and Noctowl in that second just got a Sky Attack off to take out the Medicham, and then Colin won this event 3-2 without losing one single game.
And that just goes to show that it ain't over until it's over. What a moment to be sharing with all of the players that are getting involved in all of the games that we're showcasing this weekend. For me, it's the story a little bit more recent of the Malmo regional winner, Matty Morgan, who he's been a player that I've known for many years now, improved so much year after year after year, been knocking on the door, waiting to get his final, the final win and finally get that record and that accolade. And he went 6-3 in day one, just managed to make it in on resistance into the day 2 Swiss, and then went undefeated in day 2 Swiss and the top cut all the way around. And for me, the highlight was just standing there, having him accept his award, and he was speechless at the time, and it was just great to be able to showcase his journey and finally that moment where he was crowned a regional champion.
Yeah, definitely. And I think across all 3 games, there have been so many incredible, magical moments. Like, we've just given a small highlight there. We'd love to know on stream what you guys thought was your highlights for the seasons. But I think that's a little bit of insight from us. But I hope you enjoyed, and we'll go straight back to the streams for all of you.